Hi Booktube, it's Allie from Alli'sBooks&Creativity. You want to know why I'm excited? No, it is not from my cup of coffee. It is from reading Five Survive by Holly Jackson. I remember last year I discovered her, was it last year? No, it was 2 years prior. I discovered her trilogy, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I got the first book for one Christmas, and I didn't have a chance to pick it up, and I finally did in like the summer of 2022, and then I got book 2 off a discount from a thrift store in a paperback, and then I got book 3 later. I think it was a little after holidays of 2022, so I ended up ordering it online through gift card money. And I loved that trilogy. The first book has like a gajillions or like zillions of billions of tabs on it, and I wrote so many notes on that book and trilogy that I loved it. And it's a phenomenal trilogy. Like, I highly recommend it. And Five Survive, I highly recommend too. So this is not a trilogy, duology, or series. This is a standalone, so it's just one book. But I'm really, really hoping that Holly Jackson releases another mystery book. I love her mystery writing. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she thinks this. It does say here on her, about the author, it says, Holly Jackson is the author of the New York Times best-selling series, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, an international sensation with millions of copies sold worldwide. She graduated from the University of Nottingham, where she studied literacy, linguistic, and creative writing with a master's degree in English. Sorry for certain words I struggle with. She enjoys playing video games and watching true crime documentaries so she can pretend to be a detective. She lives in London. So I really, really loved this one. It was a little different than the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy if you have read it. But we are going to talk about the book, so if you don't want to be spoiled and you haven't read it, I advise you to leave this video now so I don't have to deal with saying, why'd you spoil the book? Well, the book's about to be spoiled, so leave now, read the book, and watch this video later. And it's not like it's just spelling, it's Later, later, and you can come back and watch this video. But if you have read the book, we can talk about it. So I will be back so the non-spoiler people can leave. Bye-bye! Okay, we got the spoilers out, so let's talk about Five Survive by Holly Jackson. It starts with these 6 students in an RV traveling across country from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to New Orleans, Louisiana. Their next pit stop was somewhere in South Carolina. Then Arthur, one of the characters, so the characters are Red, Arthur, Oliver, Simon, Maddie, and Raina. So 6 members, 6 students, and all of a sudden, Arthur gives them the wrong directions on his GPS. I'm thinking in my head, he probably either doesn't know how to read a GPS, or he was up to something. And when they were driving, a tire got flat. And then all of a sudden, they were trying to fix everything in their RV, and then a sniper was on the loose. Dun-dun-dun. So they had to hide in the RV for safety from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. It was an 8-hour-long survival. And then around like 1 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning, this 2 older couple decides to help them. They get help, but before they were going to get help, the couple didn't make it. Dun, 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 dun. The sniper got to them. So they had to run back to the RV for safety. They had to get to the RV for safety. And Oliver's being the protective friend, protective brother to his sister Maddie. And then I'm throughout the story, I'm thinking in my head, where's Arthur? I hardly am reading to find Arthur, mostly in the story. I'm only seeing parts of him, thinking, could he be the suspect? Could he be part of this? So I'm thinking logically, like, this is starting to make me think Arthur is suspicious. So around like 3-4 a.m. in the morning after the couple incident, Oliver decides, oh, let's take Red out as bait. And I'm like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you put a main character named Red, who's the main character, out there for bait? Because authors know, mostly, you don't want to kill off your main characters, because that will upset that would upset the fans. So I was like, there's no way that they're gonna have Red go out there, because that is not the smartest move. So what happened was, right around the 4 o'clock hour, they were deciding throughout those 8 hours, like, okay, who's gonna go out and be the bait? Sorry, I gotta position my legs, it's hurting. So what happened was, they were trying to figure out Maddie does it. She opens the door, it makes a creak sound, it creaks open, and she falls out. She becomes kind of a target. She gets hurt, so she needed medical attention, but there was no cell service. They were working on it. And then by almost the 5 o'clock hour, Red is calling for help. And then here comes Arthur breaking the walkie-talkie. Dun, dun, dun. So what happened was, Arthur was a suspect, but there was another suspect named Mike. So what happened was, Arthur got in the RV to confess his guiltiness. And not only that, Maddie was hurt, Red got hurt, and Oliver died. The protective friend was the one who didn't survive. So the only ones who survived was Arthur the suspect, Red, Maddie, Simon, and Raina. We were all thinking, oh my gosh, Maddie's going to be the one that's not going to survive, because the title says 5 survive, but there's only 6 of them in the story. So I'm thinking, one of them is probably not going to make it. I'm thinking in my head, it's going to be Maddie. Nope, it was her brother, Oliver, the protective one. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. So what happened was, at the end of the story, you see the police kind of talking through the intercom. They arrested Mike. Arthur fled the scene. Maddie got medical treatment, so did Red. They both survived. And Arthur wrote this huge letter to Red, confessing everything he did was wrong, apologizing, wanting to meet up to say goodbye. If she wanted to turn him into the police, he understood. And that was the end of the story. And I was like so intrigued on this. I was like, normally I would be like, okay, I'm gonna read for 2 hours and play some video games. No, I was so intrigued in the story, I wanted to keep reading. I wanted to keep knowing what was gonna happen. I wanted to know. I was so intrigued. And I really, really, really hope Holly Jackson eventually releases another mystery book in the future. I really hope. So that's really, I'm hoping one day, I'm hoping either end of this year or sometime next year or the year after, she releases another. I really hope so. But if not, I hope soon, because I love her mystery writing. Because her mystery writing will have a special place in my heart. So that will always be the special place where it belongs. And this is the first author that every time I finish a book, I want more. I'd be craving for more. I want more from the author, and I want more stories from them, whether it's the current one or a new one. Like that type of author. Like I'm always intrigued for more. I'm always intrigued and excited for more stuff from the author. So if she ever releases more, I can't wait. That is my book talk for the day. So this was just a cherry on top for the stuff I share on BookTube. I'll probably do, would I do more book talks in the future? Probably. So for my rating with this book, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was one of my favorites, so I really highly recommend this book and her other trilogy. So that is all for the day. Like I said, this was a cherry on top, so I was planning something else in mid-May to record, so you'll see what that is in the future. Other than that, I will see you all again soon, and hopefully by May. All right? Other than that, I will see you all later. Bye!